but I think the good professor is not aware.
Welcome back to the #1 breakfast show in the country, Morning at NTV. We are going to be talking about another contentious conversation, and that is the Kyambogo University land. Who owns the land? Is it Buganda Land Board or is it the Kampala District Land Board? Yes, what is it? I do have Dennis Bugaya. He's the spokesperson for the Buganda Land Board. He's going to be letting us in on some of the technicalities and why this case is actually causing a lot of ambiguity. We couldn't have Professor Elikan Tunguka because he's stuck somewhere in traffic, but he's the Vice Chancellor for Kyambogo University, and I would have loved to have a comment from him on what is happening. But we couldn't be much more appreciative of the fact that Mr. Bugaya is already here with us. A very good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So we would like to know, please update us on the status of this land at Kyambogo University. Who owns it?
The land at Kyambogo University is owned by the family of the Batano family of the Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Mwenda Mutebi. So it is private estate to that family. It's not public land, it's not university land, it's not official land. It's private estate of the family of the late CM Sosonkole. So when we saw Kampala District Land Board claiming it and trying to allocate it to an investor, we were shocked. Reason, way back, Kyambogo University had processed titles. And when we talk about this land, it's not just an issue of Kyambogo University. This land has some institutions like the Kyambogo College, the secondary school, the primary school, the UNESCO, the nurses school. So this is, the whole of this land is in contention. So we have the titles which are supported by the records at the Ministry of Lands, and these are my titles issued way back in the 1920s. So around 2007, the university, of course with the support of Ministry of Education, they processed freehold land titles. Now in law, a freehold land title cannot sit on top of a mayor title. These are distinct land tenures which can't coexist on top of each other. So we protested and we wrote to the ministry. An investigation was conducted by the Ministry of Lands of the Republic of Uganda, and a report was made, and a notice of cancellation was issued to cancel those titles, the freehold titles for the university, the secondary school, the primary school, the nurses college, and even all other UNESCO, even all those other institutions. We are talking of 644.4 acres of land. So that's the estate we are talking about. So the university just claims a portion of this land, otherwise it's a big chunk. So when the notice was issued of cancellation, that's why you see I heard over the news that Kyambogo University can't trace its titles. You can't trace the titles which were cancelled. The titles were cancelled. But as an institution, as Uganda Kingdom, we are not claiming that we should have the university away or these institutions away or anything like that. We are just clear that let due compensation be done to the family so that the institution can continue and have its titles. It can be by a leasehold, it can be by compulsory acquisition. So there is apart from the
So this is simply about compensation.
This is
for the Matano family.
It's about a compensation for the Matano family. It's not about eviction of an institution like that. Remember, this is an institution which came in place in 2003 as a university, but it has roots in ITech, those institutions, the three which combined to form Kyambogo University, and they have a history dating back as far as 1928. So we cannot be insensitive, we cannot be unpatriotic, and we can't be all that. We are just saying that, you look, if an institution is to get a title, let it get a title through the right procedure. If an institution is to have land, let it have it through the right procedure. And you know, even in our constitution, Article 26 is clear. You cannot deprive me of my property unless I go through a thorough and lawful and prompt compensation.
Well, Mr. Luga, it's too bad we couldn't have Professor Elika Tunguka. He's stuck in traffic, but this was a question I wanted to fire to him. Kyambogo University has always felt like this land belonged to Kampala District Land Board. Interrogate that for us.
That is quite erroneous. And when I watched, I think, over NTV when the chairman, Kampala District Land Board, was addressing the press about the same matter, he's quoted to have said that it belongs to Kampala District Land Board because it has no owner. Now that can't be the logic. You can't find, when you fail to find the owner of the land, you cannot say that it belongs to you. That can't be the logic. We are talking about titled land. In law, a title is conclusive evidence of ownership of land. So you can't just make allegations without. If Kampala District Land Board says they are the owner, we can go and interrogate the records at the Ministry of Lands, and we see whether they have the title. They don't have the title. I am very, very sure. So they just came up. I think they brought an investor who wanted 60 acres of that land. You can imagine. We are reading from different pages. Us and the university on the same side, because we all agree the university is going nowhere. And Kampala District Land Board trying to allocate the land to an investor. So it's quite unfortunate.
So you have Kyambogo University take center stage in 2003. They are issued a land title in 2007. It is recalled in 2015. Where was the Matano family all this while when they were getting these land titles, being recorded, this whole process? Where was the Matano family to actually claim the same land?
Actually, the titles were recalled because